Good evening, Brother Juan with Next Step Financial Partners, Tax and Accounting. I hope everybody's doing well. Just wanted to hop on for just a brief moment. We'll talk about a few things actually, but I still don't plan on being on here too long. But I am a Baptist minister, so when the pastor say I won't be long, or I'm getting ready to close, that probably is not true. But I'm going to try to be quick. Amen. Just a broadcast for our Bible study from 7 to 8. I wanted to hop on because and talk a little bit about a few things. During the pandemic, one of the programs of the government, the Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, and of course the other things that were offered. Nothing comes from the government without strings attached. So everything that's in the news is a good indication of what we should expect over the next couple of years. So, I know a lot of people had issue with even applying, especially those who may have qualified. And then others who didn't qualify applied and received money fraudulently. So I was talking to one of my clients today about, actually we were talking about sales taxes. We weren't talking about income taxes. We was talking about sales taxes and what someone had told her. No, that wasn't today. That was a couple of days ago. But regardless, and I pointed out very bluntly, that is fraud. To lie to the government, to lie to the state, specifically. If Oklahoma, you pay sales tax on products, and you lie, you're selling products and you lie, say that you're not selling products, you're selling a service. That's fraud. That's being deceptive. And sure, everything is fine until you get caught. And then what happens? So needless to say, once she understood what that was, she had no problem. Well, we're going to set up everything right. Yeah. Always my advice. So that brings me to the Paycheck Protection Program. Paycheck Protection Program. If you got any questions, I'm gonna be on here for just a few minutes. So type them in the comments if you have questions. And if I don't get to it right now, I may get to it later. Contact you later or do another live about it. So it's not a coincidence that the IRS has ramped up its hiring. It was announced, and I will say this, statistics show that the IRS is like 17,000 people short over the past decade. So we know that they're already shorthanded. If you have needed to call the consumer hotline for the IRS or even for tax repairs, getting through to the IRS is pointless. So we already know they're shorthanded. But the Small Business and Self-Employed Division of the IRS is in the process of hiring 2,000 people. 2,000 people. The Criminal Investigation Division for the IRS is in the process of hiring 500 people. And I heard a report today that they're also in the process of securing services and hiring 400 tax attorneys. So that definitely has something to do with all the fraud that has been going on with the Paycheck Protection Program. You see it in the news all the time, right? But here's the kicker. There are strings that come with accepting money from the government. But if you do everything above board, you have nothing to worry about. But there are going to be a lot of audits, and there is going to be an increase amount of audits for people who have taken the paycheck, any funds for the Paycheck Protection Program, whether or not the funds were forgiven or not. And so one of the requirements for this year, for 2021, filing for this year, is that if you receive funds from PPP program, then you're required to add a note to your tax return when you file with certain information. And so the forgiveness of the PPP loan creates tax exempt income. It's not taxable. So it's not actually going on, if you file a Schedule C, it's not going on your Schedule C. So although you don't need to report the income from forgiveness, you are required to report certain information in a note attached to your income tax return. Let me pull this over to my other screen so I could talk about it. So there are four things you want to include, and then additional thing that needs to be written on the statement. But you are required to add your name, address, and Social Security number to this form. Individual tax identification number or Social Security number, name, address, Social Security number. Also, you are to include a statement. It says that you are applying or applied Section 3.01, subsection 1, 2, or 3 of the Revenue Procedure 2021-48, and what taxable year 2020 or 2021 as applicable. And that has to do with your loan, whether it is still a loan, whether or not it has been forgiven, or whether or not a portion has been forgiven. You got to report that information along with your income tax return this year. All right. And so if you don't, that is going to be one of the things they look for when they start auditing people, to try to locate the fraud that was going on. Thirdly, the amount of tax-exempt income from the forgiveness of the PPP loan that you are treating as received, accrued in for what taxable year, 2020 or 2021, and whether or not the forgiveness of the PPP loan was granted as of the date that you filed the return. And also there is, a special notation that you have to write at the top of the statement. And so this is required. So, which tells me that over the next couple of years, because usually when you're audited by the IRS, you're audited from 1-2 years back, not the current year. And so they're hiring all these people, they're going to be training them, and then they're going to be releasing them into the field. So 2 years from now, there's going to be a lot of audits around people who got the PPP loan. And so here's the problem. Those who reported false income, right? In order for you to receive $20,000 from the Paycheck Protection Program, you have to be reporting income. And this would be net income. Well, net income first draw, second draw, it could be gross of $100,000. And so your chances are probably going to increase if you are in cash-based businesses, hair, nails, barbers, lawn care, high cash businesses. All right. And so they're probably going to be looking at how much income you have actually reported and compared to what you said when you got the especially the first draw of the PPP loan, because there was so much that was unclear as far as requirements, and what banks needed to um, validate concerning those who put applications in. So um, definitely going to be checking to see that you are actually filing and continuing to file this business. And you might have to give an accounting of how you use those funds, because those funds were supposed to be used for certain things. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Yeah. So yeah, like I say again, nothing from the government comes without strings attached. But if you do everything right, you don't have anything to worry about. If you're not trying to hustle the government, if you are, if you spent the money on what you're supposed to be spending it on, you have nothing to worry about. And with Schedule C people, especially solopreneurs, your paycheck, the income you receive from your business, it qualifies for that, and then you can spend the money on whatever you want. But that's not what people were doing. But there's going to be a lot of prosecutions as a result. So if you receive money from the Paycheck Protection Program, I don't know if commercial, because I haven't used commercial for the general public software as a paid tax preparer. I use professional software. So I don't know if commercial software even lets you add notes like professional software does. But if you need assistance in navigating this tax season, there's so much going on. There's so many credits that are available. If you had COVID and you're a business owner, or someone in your family had COVID in 2021, there's some credits available for you, right? So, man, this is definitely a year that you don't want to play around. One of my clients looked at, I had to get the previous return. I often ask for previous returns because I want to know what you have a history of getting, and also making sure that even in the past that you got all the credits and deductions that you qualified for. But this particular client has inventory, so on that last return would be the beginning inventory for the current year. So as I began to look at it, saw mistake. And once I actually investigated, the mistake was to the tune of 10 grand in their favor between federal and state. It was about 10 grand. Wow. What could you do with extra $10,000? Right. And the thing is, you don't know what you don't know. Right. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to type those in the chat, in the comments. Like I say, I may get to it tonight. If I don't, I'll see it in the morning if you're watching this video later. But you don't know what you don't know. When I first started professionally preparing taxes, looked at some of my old ones, and I missed some money, left some money on the table because I didn't know what I didn't know. Right. And so with myself, participate in the annual filing season for the IRS. Part of that continual education is the annual refresher, where we study about changes in the law since last tax season. But I am constantly engulfing myself in learning more and more. I actually have a webinar that I missed earlier today that I need to tune in on, watch the replay, and it has to do with S corps. And so just this year, this will be the second webinar I've taken just this year. And of course, that's not even the credits that are required for the annual filing season program and having the record of completion. These are in addition to. So I have a specific program that I do for those to get those credits. And so these credits for these webinars from the IRS and other organizations are in addition to that 18. I had like 20 something this past year. But anyway, I'm going to cut it off there because, I can talk for a while. But that is something to be cautious of and conscious of that there are going to be increased audits over the next couple of years. And one of the targets for audits are going to be those who receive funds from the Paycheck Protection Program. And if you are above board, if you do everything right, if you're not trying to defraud the government, then you really have nothing to worry about. But if you have been, if you were, if you are, then you should always be looking over your shoulder, because you never know when your number will be called and they come knocking on your door. It's IRS, time for your audit. And so again, yeah, you don't want to play. You don't play with Jesus, and you don't play with the IRS. All right, so this is Brother Juan, Next Step Financial Partners. I didn't properly introduce myself, but I am Juan P. Barrientos II, the owner of Next Step Financial Partners Tax and Accounting, also the owner of Next Step Consulting. I am here to help you navigate your biz to be more profitable, reducing, eliminating, deferring your taxes is my goal, so you keep more of your money in your pocket rather than giving it to Uncle Sam. And so again, I'm here to help you navigate your biz. And feel free to reach out to us if you're needing your taxes filed. There is a link associated with this video, so you can book a call with me and we can get that process started. I do offer a free service where I will look over your past two tax returns, see what I see. If I don't see anything, great. If I do, I will let you know, and we can look at it further. If you're in need of bookkeeping services for your business, especially with tax season, if you're needing a profit and loss statement, feel free to reach out to us. We definitely want to see you become current. If you need ongoing bookkeeping or accounting services, reach out to us. Those services are available. I love connecting with business owners to be an encouragement. And, we consider ourselves strategic partners and not just provide a service because as you grow, then I can charge you more. Right. And so I want to see you grow. So again, this is Brother Juan, Next Step Financial Partners. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see y'all later. And I know it's not Wednesday at 1 p.m., but nevertheless, we can call this a special edition of Tax Talk with Brother Juan. Y'all have a good night.